Hello, hello. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Absolutely enjoying a hot cup of coffee right now because I am a little low today. Low energy for some reason. I don't know why. Just a low, just some days you're high and some days you're low. And today is a low. But it doesn't have to end low. That's the one thing I have learned along the way. Just because you're feeling one way doesn't mean you have to let that be the end all be all. Do you know what I mean? So just wanted to point that out to you in case you're someone who just needs to know that if your day started less than ideal, it still can turn around. It can 100% turn around. So I am kind of obsessed with Mel Robbins. I don't know if you follow her, but she's pretty fantastic. If you don't, you should follow her. She is just a guru of she is a mom. She is going through the things. She has a, huge business. She's an influencer. She does it all. And she's doing something called Spring It On, and it's basically like a spring cleaning for yourself. And I love the concept of spring cleaning out your life. I love spring cleaning in general. I just think it's very cleansing and good for you and good for your family and good for everybody. But she goes into even more and talks a lot about cleansing your life, cleansing your mind, cleansing the things that you're doing, the people. And that she brought up a really great point in that a lot of times we create systems, right? We create systems in our life, we create systems or schedules for our families, or we do something, and then life adjusts, life changes, and we never really go back and readjust the things that needed to be readjusted. So what ends up happening is you feel really maybe the thing that normally worked is feeling really frustrating and flustery. And yes, I made up those words. Well, not frustrating, but flustery. And so you don't realize that the real issue is that you kind of just need to go back and kind of reallocate your time, or redo a routine, or remake some adjustments for some of the things that are out of whack. And I loved that. I love that concept of so simple, right? So simple that you just need to make the adjustment. And so one of the things she's talking about is how everybody talks a lot about let's have a morning routine. What's your morning routine? Because the truth is, a morning routine is essential for your life, in my opinion. I personally feel like if you want to get anything done, or you want to be productive, you have to beat the day. You can't let the day beat you. And I think the only way to ensure that happens is to spend some time creating a morning routine that is going to give you life, one that you can't wait to get out of bed to get to. And what does that look like? Maybe you read about some of these morning routines of some of these CEOs, and it's they have 4 hours before they have to go to work, and they go to work out, and they do all these things, and they do, all this stuff. And you're well, I don't have that. I don't have any of that. And maybe you're even like me, and you have all the great intentions, but you still have a baby that wakes up and might take some of that time. These are where you kind of have to reallocate. And so that's where I feel figuring out what exactly you need out of a morning routine. But a couple of the rules to ensuring that you do have success in that morning routine are as follows. Number 1, no snooze. Don't snooze the snooze button. There is science that supports that if you snooze, you are that much more likely to be groggy for the remainder of the day, because you have you're restarting your REM sleep, right? And your REM should really be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. So if you restart that REM, what's happening? You're constantly going back into this state of let's go back to sleep, and then you have to wake up again and wake up again and wake up again. So here's my 2 cents on it. Set your alarm for an actual time that you actually need to get up. Don't be high intention like, oh, I'm going to wake up at like 5 a.m. and then you don't have to get up at 5 a.m. and you are never going to get up at 5 a.m. Instead, figure out what time you actually need to get up, and then don't snooze. No snoozing. So it means you need to move your phone, move things to other places. You got to do that. You got to make the moves. You got to make the changes that are going to make the things happen in your world. So that is number 1. Number 2. Sorry, Facebook, this thing is going to go away. Sorry. Okay. Number 2 is the first 10 minutes. So even if you only have 10 minutes for a whole morning routine, that is a-okay. It's not like a bad thing. There's no like specific amount of time. For me personally, I'd love to sit down and have like close my eyes and kind of visualize a couple of things that I'm trying to work towards in my life, journal, maybe do a little yoga routine. Obviously, I'd like to get my workout always in that morning, but sometimes that morning is broken. It's not always perfect, but also maybe that's too aggressive for the season of life that I'm in. Maybe that's, once this baby's a little more, I'm talking about you, boy. Maybe this is when like your baby's a little more predictable and you are sleeping through the night and he wakes up at 6:40 every single morning. Then maybe I can make sure that I'm up at the appropriate time and doing all those things. So I just want to encourage you that if you're trying to do more than you can even do in that time, then like let's back up from there, right? Hi. So the first 10 minutes are for me. There are tons of journals out there called the 5-second rules. They're the 5-second journal. And, a lot of it is getting the brain dump. So dumping everything down in your journal that you have to do that day. I prefer to do that the night before. I do a lot of things the night before because I have more time that I absolutely know is my time because everyone goes to sleep quite well here in this house. And so what does that look like for you? What are some things you can do the night before that are going to set you up for an even better 10 minutes for you? And then the last thing is the cell, this no cell before self. Unless you're like using it for timers or, meditation or whatever, the truth is your cell phone can be full of bad news, which in turn is the likelihood is 27% higher to ensure that you then are in a bad mood for the remainder of your day. So make sure that your cell is not putting you in a damper that you don't want to be in. I think that sometimes we, I'm a phoner. I mean, I do business on my phone, so I have it a lot. But make sure that you have a plan for your phone and don't let it rob you of your day before you even get a chance to live your day. So that is what I have to say about the phone. I would go on to add 20 ounces of lemon water. I think that look up all of the benefits of lemon water. I think hot lemon water is even better. I'm just not a hot lemon water drinker. So that's not really for me, but add 20 ounces of lemon water. That gets your digestive system going. It kickstarts your metabolism. It gets you moving in the right direction. Don't let your first drink be coffee. Don't let it, just don't do it. I would even go on to say, don't let coffee be a part of your morning routine unless you're like a just straight all, are those my toes? Unless it's all coffee and there's no creamer and there's nothing bad in there that's going to rob you of your digestive system's kickstarting and doing the things that it needs to do. So that is my 2 cents about your morning. But the best thing you can do is figure out what it is that you need. Do you feel like the day is running you? Okay, well then what can you do? I know for me, I like to have the majority of my work done before 7 a.m. because then I can be 100% present with these monkeys as much as I can, when running a business from home. So that is really important for me. And just getting some time by myself is really, it's funny. My husband joined me for a couple weeks. It hasn't continued. We won't hold that against him. But he joined me for a couple weeks, and it was so funny. We were sitting there, and we were both working away, and out of nowhere, he looks up, and he's like, I get it. And I looked at him, and I was like, I know. I've been telling you for years. He's like, this is so peaceful. And I'm like, yeah, this is why I get it. He's like, I get why you fight for this time in your day, because it's just quiet. There's your brain is so much more functioning at that time of the morning. I can't even really explain how much better your brain works. And I think that you all of a sudden have clarity on things that you never thought you even needed clarity on. I'm telling you, it's just a win, win, win. So that's my tips for your morning. If you caught my live yesterday, we talked all about visualization. That can be a part of your morning. But figure out what works for you and make that happen. All right. Onward, friends. Make it a great day. And that's all I have for you for now. See you later.